It was a crisp autumn morning in a small village nestled in the foothills of the Himalayas. The sun had just peeked over the distant peaks, casting a warm glow across the tranquil landscape. In the center of the village, an old man named Ravi sat cross-legged on a worn cushion, sipping his morning tea and watching the world come to life around him. Ravi had lived in this village for as long as he could remember, and he had seen many changes over the years. But one thing that had remained constant was his unwavering commitment to the principles of Buddhism. He had spent countless hours in meditation, studying the teachings of the Buddha, and sharing his wisdom with the villagers who sought his guidance. On this particular morning, Ravi was approached by a young man named Arjun, who had recently moved to the village with his family. Arjun was a restless soul, always seeking new experiences and challenges. He had heard whispers of Ravi's reputation as a wise and enlightened teacher, and he was eager to learn from him. "Respected Ravi ji," Arjun said, bowing deeply, "I have heard so much about your teachings, and I would be honored if you would share your wisdom with me." Ravi looked up at Arjun with a warm smile. "Of course, my child," he replied. "What is it that you seek to learn?" Arjun hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to articulate his thoughts. "I suppose I'm searching for a deeper understanding of life," he said. "I feel like I'm constantly chasing after happiness, but it always seems to slip through my fingers. I'm hoping you can help me find a more fulfilling way of living." Ravi nodded thoughtfully. "The path to true happiness is not an easy one," he said. "It requires a willingness to let go of our attachments and embrace the present moment. But I believe that with the right guidance, you can find the peace and contentment you seek." Arjun listened intently as Ravi began to share his teachings. He spoke of the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and the importance of mindfulness and compassion. Arjun was captivated by Ravi's words, and he found himself nodding in agreement as the old man's wisdom unfolded. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Ravi and Arjun continued their conversation, delving deeper into the complexities of the human experience. Arjun asked questions, shared his own struggles and insights, and listened with rapt attention as Ravi shared his perspective. At one point, Ravi paused and looked directly at Arjun. "You know, my child, the key to true happiness is not in chasing after it, but in simply saying yes to the present moment. When we can fully embrace the here and now, without judgment or attachment, that is when we find the peace we seek." Arjun furrowed his brow, considering Ravi's words. "But how do I do that?" he asked. "How do I let go of my constant need for more, for something better?" Ravi smiled and reached out to gently touch Arjun's arm. "It's a practice, my child," he said. "It takes time and patience, but with dedication and a willingness to let go, you can learn to say yes to the present moment, and in doing so, find the happiness that has been within you all along." Arjun nodded, his eyes shining with a newfound understanding. He spent the rest of the day with Ravi, listening to his stories, asking questions, and reflecting on the lessons he had learned. As the sun began to set, Arjun stood to leave, but not before bowing deeply to the old man and expressing his heartfelt gratitude. "Thank you, Ravi ji," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Your teachings have opened my eyes to a whole new way of living. I will carry your wisdom with me, and I will strive to say yes to the present moment, no matter what challenges may come my way." Ravi smiled and nodded, his eyes twinkling with a deep, abiding peace. "Go in peace, my child," he said. "And remember, the path to true happiness is not in chasing after it, but in simply saying yes to the life that is unfolding before you." As Arjun walked back to his home, he felt a sense of lightness and clarity that he had never experienced before. The weight of his constant striving and dissatisfaction had been lifted, and he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wisdom that Ravi had shared with him. From that day on, Arjun made a conscious effort to say yes to the present moment, to embrace the ups and downs of life with a sense of equanimity and grace. He found that the more he practiced this simple yet profound act of acceptance, the more he was able to tap into the wellspring of joy and contentment that had been within him all along. In the end, the story of the man who said yes became a testament to the power of mindfulness, acceptance, and the transformative potential of the present moment. It was a story that would be passed down through generations, a reminder that true happiness is not something to be chased, but rather something to be embraced, one yes at a time.